Abortion, the killing of unwanted babies before they are born, has become to many a selfish, absolute right sanctioned by the state. The inherent inhumanity in abortion is underlined by the schizophrenic double standard which abortion has forced upon society. Namely, that the life of one group in society has now been arbitrarily reclassified as non-human, without either biological or scientific reason, but purely for sociological considerations. The extravagant and raw judicial power which was used to legalize abortion, and the same humanistic thinking which made that a reality, is in the not-too-distant future going to open the door to legalized infanticide. But infanticide, which is the killing of the unwanted young who are already born but with some defect or imperfection that makes them less desirable than others, has already begun to be practiced in the United States and in other countries. We saw that there is a strange silence by the legal and medical professions in regard to this admitted practice in many sectors of the medical world. Man's inhumanity to man exists in every age. We once regarded the slave as a non-person. Later, the Jew was perceived as a cramping nuisance upon the lifestyle that Nazi Germany had decided it wanted for itself. Today, in the United States and other countries, the unborn, unwanted child has been reclassified as a non-person, and this has opened the door to the practice of active infanticide, the killing off of the unwanted young. This is happening now. All that remains in this area of inhumanity is that the same legal bodies which officially sanction legal abortion will fully legalize infanticide and open the door to its widespread and perhaps even mandatory use. Society has decided that its ultimate goal is personal peace, comforts, and the hedonistic lifestyle. Once the doors are opened with the official sanction of the state and the courts for the arbitrary reclassification of human beings, any inhumanity is possible. Moreover, even likely, if it is deemed temporarily expedient. We saw that the elderly, often regarded as a nuisance and locked away from the rest of society, are going to be the next obvious choice for reclassification as non-persons. It is unfortunate that this hedonistic society views them as a burden and has forgotten that true worth, value, and joy in life come from understanding worth in others and the sharing of enjoyment with other human beings. Not careers, not ambitions, not selfish desires, but human relationships are in the end the only real and tangible thing that we have. The series advocates that through legislative action and personal practical responsibility and involvement with these issues on the day-to-day level, we can help the people who are caught in these inhumanities and are facing hard choices. The inhumanities discussed in this series have a philosophical root, that the base from which they stem is humanism. Or, more simply, man making himself autonomous and putting himself at the center of all things rather than the Creator, God. And with this belief, man, far from being a creature of great worth, as created in the image of God, is only a machine, a tinker toy to be manipulated by the whim and the will of the few who control the society in which we live. We saw philosophically that the humanist position is inconsistent and is full of problems, and that it does not have the answer to the questions which must be answered if we are to truly have a base for the function of society. but above that, for ourselves personally. We then examined what in the end is the only real basis for life. And that is the teaching of the Judeo-Christian ethic and the worth that it places upon each individual. Humanistic man, society, and law have scoffed at and rejected Christian morality. But their system, instead of producing something better, has produced an awful, inhuman ugliness which has step by step led to further dehumanization of our society. We must realize that this is basically not only an intellectual or philosophical or physical problem. The real problem is a false view of truth. The answer lies in the reality that truth is rooted in the existence of a personal God. Far from being irrelevant, the biblical perspective is highly relevant for the people of all times in history. Its relevance holds true for our times and for the crucial issues we have been discussing in this series.